Now, I'd love to bring up our next speakers. So we have Jacqueline Camacho-Ruiz, who is the CEO of JJR Marketing and founder of the Fig Factor Foundation. Jacqueline is a visionary social entrepreneur that has created an enterprise of inspiration with more than 20 years of experience in the marketing and public relations industry. She has created 2 successful award-winning companies, established 2 nonprofit organizations, published 26 books, the largest collection of Latina stories in a book anthology series in the world, and held events in 4 continents. She has received over 30 awards for her contributions. I'm just going to give her some snaps there already. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Jacqueline is currently the CEO of JJR Marketing, one of the fastest growing top marketing and public relations agencies in Chicago, and Fig Factor Media, an international media publishing company that helps individuals bring their books to life. She will be in conversation with Jeanette Ceja, award-winning bilingual TV host, travel journalist, travel advisor, and global public speaker. I will pass the mic to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Hello, Jacqueline. Hola.
Hola. I love the way you say my name. So you can.
It's so amazing to see you again. Jacqueline.
Yes.
I'm so inspired by you always, and I'm so excited to have another opportunity to chat with you again. And I'll share more about that. But let's get into more about you, because you're absolutely amazing, a Latina woman, entrepreneur, pilot, so much to cover. With a little bit about you. Would you like to tell our audience, Power to Fly, a little bit about more? Who is Jacqueline?
Thank you. You know what? In the bio, I mean, Maria, explained it a little bit about that. I think, how I would describe myself as a dream catcher, as many people call me. And ever since I was a little girl, I knew that if I was going to achieve my dreams, I had to help enough people achieve their dreams. So I intentionally became a dream catcher many years ago. And through that, I've been able to, like it was mentioned, start 2 nonprofit organizations, published 26 books of my own, over 100 for other amazing independent authors through my publishing company, traveled to 4 continents to speak and share inspiration, create 2 nonprofit organizations that help young Latinas. I always say that I have 2 natural children, and I have 213 adopted daughters, ages 12 to 25, over the last 7 years through our program with the Fig Factor Foundation. I'm also building a center for the youth in my hometown in Mexico, which had been my lifelong dream. And like you mentioned, I'm one of the few Latina sports airplane pilots in the United States. So I'm very proud of that, and a huge accomplishment. And I know you'll tell them how we met in person for the first time. We were just celebrating that amazing event that you're probably going to mention. And I'm a dream catcher at the center of all that, with books, with businesses, with, speaking, and even the thousands of teddy bears that I've given away, scattered around the world. My heart is always as a dream catcher for other people. So I'm super excited to be here. The name Power to Fly just resonates with my heart. And it's I love it. I love being here. Thank you.
Wow, it's amazing. And you really are a dream catcher, a visionary, and phenomenal. And we could start with one for now. We could start with, can you tell us a little bit about your book, The Little Book of Secrets, and what that is about?
Yes, that was actually my first book. And it was an incredible journey, right? Because I had been through a situation with cancer at 21, another one at 23. And, when you see death close up, you're like, you know what? How can I make every day count, every minute count? So I knew that I had to become an author, because when I started reading books when I was 4 or 5 years old, I always dreamt about doing a book, but I didn't know what kind, I didn't know when, I didn't know any of that stuff. And I think when I, had survived, cancer at 21, at 23, it accelerated something in me. It created a sense of urgency to serve. And little did I know that my journey as an entrepreneur, I would take a journal, and I would just start writing everything I knew, all the lessons, all the, the struggles, all the positive and everything, right? And one day when I gave birth to my second child, I was kind of reading this journal, right? As a young entrepreneur. I mean, I didn't know anything about business, but I knew my dream was to be an entrepreneur in the land of dreams. So I wanted to capture the incredible journey, right? Never thought that I was going to write a book about it. But as I was reading this journal, I found over 300 little gems of knowledge that I had captured in my own journey of the first 3.5 years as an entrepreneur in the United States. Now, I created a communications agency when I was 23. But when I was 14, I didn't even speak one word of English. So imagine the obstacles that I had to overcome to get to that point. As I hired a writing coach one day, she's like, I wanted to do a calendar with all those 300 little secrets. And she said, do you want to be a calendar maker or do you want to be an author? I said, oh, author? I could be an author with this? Like, this has been my dream forever, right? So I became an author instead of a calendar maker. And that was the beginning of absolute magic, and another 25 books after that in the last 11 years. So.
Incredible. That was incredible. And I will say, I will segue to another book, which is the Latinas in Aviation, which is amazing. Everyone should definitely get a copy. I was inspired by Jacqueline and all the women in this book who are Latinas and who are in aviation. And this is how I met Jacqueline and so many amazing, phenomenal Latinas who are in aviation, everyone from commercial airline pilots, traffic. I mean, it's really inspiring, one, to see women, two, to see Latinas that are in this space and really making history and making waves and paving way for future generations. And so the event was just a few weeks ago at the College Park Aviation Museum and Airport. But Jacqueline, can you tell us how and just tell us about the event from your words, from your experience?
Well, we get about 40,000 thoughts a day, right? And they could be ideas, they could be, thoughts. But when you get a thought or you get an idea with an amazing feeling, I have a different way to describe that. I call that a divine download. So Latinas in Aviation came to me after I decided to become a pilot when I was 31 years old. So I've been flying for about a little bit over 7 years. And about 2 years ago, I decided, you know what? I'm going to gather the stories of Latinas. Now, it took me about 6 months to find 22, okay? Because it's a very rare number. To give you a perspective, out of the 300,000, 300 million people in the United States, only 147,000 people are pilots. And out of that, 0.08 are Latinos. That's men and women. So the percentage of Latinas is very, very, very exclusive. So as I found these women, that led to a scholarship. I just awarded the first scholarship because all the proceeds of that book go back to a scholarship. And we gave a $5,000 scholarship to this young lady that is becoming a pilot. I also created the magazine inspired by Ana Uribe, one of the contributing authors. She said, you should do a magazine. I said, wow, I maybe should. And we just launched the second edition of the magazine featuring even more stories of incredible pilots and aeronautical engineers, air traffic controllers, administrators in the world of aviation. And finally, the other divine download that led to the celebration, the historic celebration on October 2nd, the first ever Latinas in Aviation Global Festival, paired up with the longest running airport. And may I add, one of the most restricted airspaces in the world, if not the most restricted airspace, as it is close to the White House and the Pentagon. And helicopters and Cessnas landed with over a dozen Latinas on that airfield. So that was historic in every way. And we were there witnessing this. And now they're going to have a permanent exhibit with Latinas in aviation. So the magic continues. So find your passion, find whatever makes your heart beat, like my daughter says.
Yeah. Yes, and it's so inspiring, and to be there in person and to see, you all fly from the Cessna planes and to arrive and to be celebrated and just to share your story. Wow, it was so inspiring. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for again paving the way. And there was someone who just said in the chat, I believe Maria, and she works in aerospace and she didn't even know this group existed. She said, "Que bueno." Yes, it does exist and they are thriving. So definitely follow them at Latinas and all their social media. Jacqueline is just doing amazing things. And you said the word magics. So can you tell us about the word magics?
Well, it's funny because I'm working on 3 other books right now. One about marketing, one is called Magics, and the other one is called The Micro Moment Millionaire. And I make up a lot of words. So I'm actually adding a little dictionary in the book Magics, because the word magics to me is magic times 10. The X is 10 in Roman numerals. And sometimes when you are aligned with your passion and when you're living your purpose every day, which mine is to elevate women, and when you are abundant in every way, you know what? Sometimes magic is not enough to describe the magics. So I made up my own word, and I just want to spread that to the world, right? It's becoming aware of the miracles that are happening every single day in our lives. And if we see something as magical or magics, our world would be a better place. So I just want to spread a little sparkle about that.
Yes, I love it. It's definitely magic. And just wow, 3 other books. That's amazing, Jacqueline. And then can you talk to us a little bit more about and what's the latest with that Fig Factor Foundation?
Well, Fig Factor Foundation just celebrated 7 years. And we've helped elevated the dreams of 213 young ladies. Imagine that. Most of them located in the United States of America, Chicago, in the Chicagoland area, and then some from New York and Texas and Oklahoma, California. And then 31 of those young ladies have actually joined us from Mexico through a partnership that we have with Universidad de Guanajuato. And at the helm of our new president, Maria Herrera Paloma, we have now virtualized, a lot of our programs, with our 4, step process for these young ladies. And we've been able to reach people all over the world, with our program. So we're very excited. And as we celebrate 7 years, we ask people to, support us with, being mentors. We need a lot of mentors. These young ladies need support. They need guidance. They need to see people like us, that are making things happen. And, and to me, that's part of my mission of elevating women. And it makes me very happy to be able to do that.
Yeah. It's amazing. And how can we and the community become mentors or get involved or help support, the Fig Foundation?
If they go to a website, and I can type it on the chat as thefigfactor.org, you will find opportunities, of course, just like any other nonprofit organization. And I love that Power to Fly is donating the proceeds from this event. Kudos to you for giving back. Obviously, any donations are greatly welcome. They're appreciated. We also need facilitators for our virtual programs, both in Spanish and English. So if you want to facilitate, if you want to teach and share your knowledge and your beauty, we have everything, all the guidance and the training required to make that happen. Mentors, we need mentors. We need mentors that guide our young Latinas and meet once a month with them for 6 months. So anything that you can do to help us spread our wings, and likewise, if there's anything I could do for the organizations that Power to Fly is supporting, I'm here and ready to serve as well.
That's amazing. And they can go to the website, to your foundation website. And
Yes, I can put it here.
amazing. Yes, everyone definitely. And you said you're working on 3 other books. I know you're super duper busy. Is there any other projects that you're working on or events that you're looking forward to?
Yes. Oh my God. There's always magic in the air. I've registered about 10 different brands under one of my companies. And, with one of them is a coffee brand called Living the Amazing. And we sell Café de Olla all over the world. I also have online courses like the Make Your Flight Plan course that I am facilitating for a lot of major corporations in the United States. Very excited about that. Created a second board game for Latinas in Aviation, or Latinas, Today's Inspire Latina, I'm sorry, which is basically a storytelling and extemporaneous speaking board game that, creates conversations to be able to connect with people. Doing my 4th European speaking tour in March of 2022. So I'm taking several of the authors, from my series, Today's Inspire Latina, Today's Inspire Young Latina, Latinas in Aviation, Today's Inspire Leader. And it just keeps growing, but like I said, with all of that, it comes back to being a servant leader. It comes back to my purpose of elevating women and being a dream catcher. I just happen to do it in a variety of ways, from coffee to books to little airplanes to teddy bears, anywhere in between.
Yes, incredibly inspiring. And yeah, I think that it's like, wow, just everyone follow Jacqueline and what she's doing. She's really just phenomenal. And yeah, so like our wonderful host mentioned, Latina Equal Pay Day is coming up. I wanted to see if you had any, wisdom or anything to say about the upcoming I think it's coming on October 21st. Yeah, just
October
this
21st.
week.
Yeah, you know what? And even if we're here, in the 21st century, I mean, there's still a disparity between the pay of Latinas or women compared to men. So certainly, as a fellow woman, as a fellow Latina, of course, I want to see more equality and more fairness, in that sense. But I think that part of that comes from basically living your authenticity, right? And getting rid of the limiting beliefs, because that's how it all begins. If we become better negotiators, if we become stronger and empowered, and if we learn to encapsulate our value, our knowledge, our experiences in correlation to the value that we bring to other people, and become dream catcher ourselves, then that will kind of, dissipate. I haven't been an employee for basically more than a third of my life. I mean, I'm 38 and I created my first company at the age of 23. So I haven't been paid by somebody else except my clients, for 15 and a half years of my 38 years in this planet. So I necessarily haven't experienced that because I'm able to negotiate, and I've gotten better at negotiating and creating abundance. And I became a millionaire, and it's just, life is amazing, right? Because that gives me the leverage and that power, that economic power to be able to not only have the dreams, but be able to expand my wings and help people, financially as well. So to me, I haven't been, experiencing firsthand, but I know that it all begins with, as I think of my own journey, how did I become a millionaire, right? Well, I started believing in myself more. I started getting rid of the programs that, I'm not good enough, and getting rid of the limiting beliefs, and solely focusing on my value in correlation to the value that I bring to other people. Because if you can basically buy a machine and that machine gives you $1 million worth of revenue, how much money would you be willing to pay for that machine, for example, right? So if somebody that you interact with, whether they're Latina or not, I mean, they're bringing you value that is creating millions of dollars in revenue, then the negotiating factor has to be equitable to that, to the value that you're bringing. So if you're not making enough money, instead of saying, well, I deserve more money because I do, why don't we change the narrative and say, you know what do I need to work on in myself to get rid of all my limiting beliefs? How do I become a better negotiator? And how do I become an expert in encapsulating my intellectual property and my experiences so that I can exchange that value for more money? And if we do that, I think we're golden.
Amazing. I think what you're saying is spot on, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be connected again with Jacqueline. And Jacqueline, we do have one question from one of the name is Alejandra, and she says, "Hi everyone. What if someone wants to be a mentee? I'm 23, under 25, and I would love the opportunity."
Yes, you can also apply on our website to be a mentee and to be part of our program. Our next program is going to be between February and March. It is going to be virtual. So that means that you can be anywhere in the world, soaking in all this knowledge and inspiration from our facilitators and our mentors. And that is going to happen on Saturdays, 4 consecutive Saturdays, starting in February and March. So yes, please apply on our website that I shared earlier. And we love to have you as one of our mentees and be part of our family of graduates at the Fig Factor Foundation.
So inspiring. Thank you so much, Alejandra and Jacqueline. We only have about 1 more minute left before we wrap up. End us off with any, last words or takeaways that you'd love our attendees to, to walk away from this amazing time with you.
You know what? I leave you with my favorite phrase in the whole world, one that I'm known for around the world, and that is, taking off is optional, landing on your dreams is mandatory. So don't forget to land on your dreams.
Yes. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias, Jacqueline, for being such an amazing woman, Latina, just all around. So inspiring. And thank you, Power to Fly, for having us on today. Thank you.